Alright, greetings everyone. It's Lauren here with kc9zhv.com, and a lot of people have asked me, how do I run Allstar inside of Xubuntu 14.04 LTS Desktop Edition, and how did I make this work, and how did this happen? Well, it's actually fairly easy. Special thanks to N4IRS for all of his work, and I'm going to show that to you now here. Alright, so we're on the page here with N4IRS, and you should be able to see that on your screen for the GitHub. I'll post this in the comments of the video. But anyway, down here you click on Allstar, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to click on, I think it's platforms. Just give me 1 second here. And of course I'm using let's go back one. Yes, I use the x86 version, whatever, to do this. Okay. So, alright, I think I used this one right here. Yes, this is it. This is what I used. And this is the line of code I used off of his deal here. So I want to show you where I put that and how I did everything and how it works. All right, so we're gonna go back to the machine here, to the Xubuntu machine. All right. As you can see, I CD'd myself to user src. Now this is really important. You need to sudo yourself to su, or su to root. This is pretty important. Alright, I created a, basically what I typed there earlier was nano space allstarsetup.sh, okay? So this opens up basically a text editor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste the information seen here on the other screen into there. So we're going to go back over there here. Alright, now we're gonna, what I do is I do chmod plus rwx to the file name, and that's how I run it. Okay, now to run the file, we're going to type sh space allstarsetup.sh. N4IRS sure did make this an easy process to install. This is like the easiest. This is very easy. The entire thing is just, I mess it up, but I guess this video is for myself more often, so that way I can help remind myself how to do things. but hopefully this helps someone else out there in installing Allstarlink on an already Ubuntu pre-made machine, or a machine that they, you know, that they wish to install it on. So here it goes, and all the great fun. The only thing that kind of bugs me is that it'll reboot, and it'll want to reboot, and then when it reboots, it's going to want to change the network information for some reason and change the root password. I really wish they was able to take that out of that script just for this purpose. You know, have a script set aside just for doing things like this. But so far, it seems to work well, and you know, I'm pretty thankful for what we've got. Somebody did a lot of work to get this to happen. Now, don't forget, you can always install Dial on your machine from the allstarlink.org, and that'll be in the description of the video as well. You can go in there and get the Raspberry Pi version, or Dial for a PC, and it's a pretty cool setup. It takes care of just about everything for you. It does not have a desktop, so it is SSH only. Most of the time when you're implementing things like this, you won't be implementing it on a desktop environment. In my particular case, there's some environments where I need to install this remotely, server side, things like that. This is the exact way you can install this remotely into servers via SSH. So for some reason, I don't know how to get the wget the file. I don't know how to do wget that file, because every time I do it, it just downloads an HTML file. So, you know, if somebody wants to comment in the thing below on how to get the wget to actually work correctly, and then that, you know, that'd be kind of cool. But that's just from my experience. So we're almost done here, and we're about to the point of reboot, and I'll show you what that looks like here in just a second. Keep in mind, this is actually running inside of a virtualized environment. I'm running it inside of a virtual machine because I like to test everything prior to use in the real field. And since I didn't have a spare machine, since I've got 4 or 5 machines here running Allstar, I don't have any more spare machines to do this on. So this is why I did this. Alrighty, now it's asking for us to reboot, so let's go ahead and reboot the machine. Good old trusty VirtualBox. Alright, so you will not get the startup script until you sudo yourself to root for some reason. And I don't even like the startup script anyway, but I think it has to be done for some reason. I don't know why, but we'll go through it. I'll show you how I do it. Always say yes there. If you say no, you'll never get this script back, and you'll never be able to get to be able to pull from the hub. So even if your password's the way you want it, always say yes. Alright, so time zone, I want to change this now? No, that looks okay. Yes, I'm going to change this. I never use DHCP for anything. Ever. Okay, so here we go. Okay, for some reason it must not have recognized the password, so we're going to go ahead and reboot. I hate that when that happens too. Alright, as you can see, asterisk is running. Everything looks to be running just fine. And as you can tell, I'm virtually using no memory at all. And this particular virtual machine's got 3 cores given to it. You probably can do this on 1 core. all of your files will be found in cd etc asterisk. You will need to be root to edit them. Alright, and then to make users root, we all know how to add users, right, and delete the users. It's real easy. Add user, space, the name, and enter, and then password information, etc. It's real easy. Change your password, pass WD, all a breeze. To add somebody as a root user, you're going to type vi sudo. And then underneath user privilege specification, you're going to put the username and this information right here. You're going to copy and paste it down below. So that's how you add somebody to the root user list. And by the way, that's a tab all the way out there. And that's how you add root user. Okay, you're going to edit your repeater.conf here as prompted, and your extensions, your IAX, all that information. Another thing, a lot of people have problems with echolink. Echolink is like the #1 issue. Not only do you need to port forward 5198, 5199 and UDP, but you also need to forward TCP 5200 to the machine wherever you have it setting, or whatever IP you have the machine setting on. You will do this in your modem, or firewall, or router, and you'll also want to port forward whatever port you decide to use for asterisks. For your IX, usually its default is 4569 or 4568. A lot of people use another, 4568 or 4569. You'll also, if you're going to use manager.conf, you're going to want to port forward that port too, which is normally 5038, but you can always change that to another port. It does not have to be 5038. So first I'm going to go in here and show you where the echolink is and how to get to that and find it. Alright, what I did there is I typed Control and W to search, and I typed in echo and hit enter, and it brought me to the Chan echolink. And what I do is I change that from no load to load. Now I can add the echolink.conf, and it'll load the echolink Chan driver for me and things like that. Okay, I have not yet figured out how to make echolink stick to one IP. Let's say that this server here has got multiple IPs to it, public IPs. Let's say that I'm in a data center hosting environment. I've got a group of like 16 IPs, and I wish to use echolink on all of them. I do not yet know how to do that, so I apologize. There is no information on how to do this yet. So hopefully this introduction, or this very bare basic information, has been useful. There's one more quick thing I want to show you, is where to find your log messages and how to read them. You're going to CD to var, log, and asterisk. Once you get there, hit enter, and I use cat messages, so that way I could scroll up and take a look at everything that I need to see. So it'll look kind of like this. As you can see, it's not a really big file. You can see my cat messages command, and then you'll see everything that may have been a problem in here. You'll also see IPs in here, node numbers, DTMF commands. Sometimes you'll see them in here. I don't know how to. I think there's different settings or stuff like that. So people will have to correct me if I'm wrong. So that's what I've got here. Hopefully this has been helpful in the installation of Allstar on a non-dial machine. This is with the Xubuntu 1404 LTS desktop edition. The installation is complete. So any questions, feel free to comment or add me on the forum.kc9zhv.com. This has been a small introductional video for Allstarlink and kc9zhv.com.